everyone! First of all, we would like to express our gratitude to Mindia Venda Marpel as the lecturer of English for academic purpose and also to all our friends. Allow us, Group 4, to present the result of our discussion entitled Freedom of Speech in the Digital Era. Let me introduce the member of Group 4, myself Erika Rahmamalia, and my friends Solihat, Risma Rahmati, dan Robia Fajia. Without further ado, let's start the presentation.
Okay, definition. Freedom of expression is one of the most fundamental and important human right in a democratic society. This right allows citizens to voice their opinions, participate in public discussion, and critique the government without fear. In Indonesia, freedom of expression is protected by several key legal foundations, including first, Article 28E, Paragraph 3 of the 1945 Constitutional, the 1945 Constitutional of the Republic of Indonesia state that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression, but verbally and in writing, as well as the right to obtain information. And Article 28F state that everyone has the right to communicate and obtain information to develop themselves and their social environment. Second, Law Number 39 of 1999 concerning human rights, Article 23 states that everyone has the right to express their opinions and idea, and that the right must be respected without restriction that are not in accordance with the law. Third, Law Number 19 of 2016 concerning electronic information and transaction, also the ITE law also regulates the protection of content and activities on the internet. It is important to remember that its application must be in line with the principle of protection freedom of expression. 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which affirms that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression, is provision from the normative basic for the development of human rights standard at the global level. Furthermore, more legally binding provisions are contained in Article 99 of the 1966 International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The ICCPR affirms that the freedom of opinion is a not revocable right in terms of holding opinions, while freedom of expression may be subject to certain restriction.
Data analysis supporting data show that in 2025, internet user in Indonesia reached 2029 43 million people with a penetration rate of 66%, where social media is the main activity with 143 million activity users. This high activity encourages free experience of opinions, but often leads to criminal case because it is considered defamation under Article 27, Paragraph 3 of the Law of the ITE Law Junto, Article 45, Paragraph 3 of Law Number 19, 2016, with penalties of up to 4 years in prison or a fine of 750 million. This phenomenon creates a killing effect on freedom of speech in the digital era. Latest statistic: Internet user increased from 221 50 million 2024 to 229 43 million 2025, with 66% using mobile broadband connection. Social media dominates interest usage, averaging 3 hours 11 minutes per day, opening risks of hate speech and defamation.
Hello, I'm Risma, and I will explain about the example case in our topic presentation. The first case is about Laras Faizati, a 26 years old staff member of ASEAN, was arrested by the Indonesian National Police's criminal investigation agency or Barreskrim Polri in August 2025 for posting provocative Instagram story. The content of the post included a call for the incineration of the National Police headquarters, or Mabes Polri, which was asserted as a reaction to a recent demonstration incident. The public prosecutor indicted Laras under multiple criminal provisions, notable Article 160 of the Indonesian Criminal Code, or KUHP, concerning incitement, as well as the Information and Electronic Transaction Law, or UITE. specifically Article 45A, paragraph 2, in conjunction with Article 28, paragraph 2. Despite the fact that the trial is still underway at the South Jakarta District Court, numerous parties, including prominent public figure Mahfud MD, have called for her release. Their argument posits that the social media post constitutes a symbolic expression of defiance and disappointment rather than an actual incitement to material violence. The next case is about Daniel Fritz Tangkilissen. The case of Daniel Fritz Tangkilissen, an environmental activist in Karimun Jawa, underscores the criminalization of activists through the utilization of Indonesia's Information and Electronic Transaction Law, or UITE. Mr. Tangkilissen was arrested in January 2024 following a Facebook post containing comments, notable the praise of Shrimp Brain Community, or Masyarakat Otak Udang, which targeted citizens supporting illegal shrimp farming amidst his #Save Karimun Jawa advocacy campaign. He was initially convicted by the Japara District Court to 7 months in prison for violating Article 28(2), conjunction Article 45A 2 of the UITE. Although this sentence was later overturned on appeal, despite his eventual acquittal, the protracted legal battle and severe charge demonstrate an emergency of digital critique. The case reinforced public anxiety that the UITE is being used to surveil dissent and restrict civic space for activists advocating on environmental issues. Thank you.
Next, we will move on the case analysis section where we will first discuss the case of Daniel Tangkilissen. The statement made by Daniel Tangkilissen do not qualify as hate speech. The application of criminal provision on hate speech, including Article 28, paragraph 2 of the ITE law, should not be spared from the provision of Article 156 and 157 of the Criminal Code as a reference for extending the elements and its normative rather than alternative. The provision of Article 156 of the Criminal Code itself have alleged 4 elements: consisting of the elements of being in public, the element of expressing, the element of feeling of hostility, hurt, or contempt, and the element of one or more groups of the Indonesian population. Next, let's move to the analysis result case. Special case in Instagram post with an expression of emotional solidarity regarding an event, not incitement or incitement to commit violence. Therefore, the element of incitement, as referred to in Article 28, paragraph 2 of the ITE law, is not valid because there was no concrete, direct, and target incitement. Furthermore, there is no clear causal link between the digital post and the awareness of any act of violence. Even though causality is an important element in incitement offense.
Conclusion: the presentation highlights the critical tension between the fundamental right to freedom of expression, which is protected in Indonesia by the 945 Constitution, the Human Rights Act, and the ITE law, and affirmed internationally by Article 19 of the UDHR and the ICCPR, and the legal limitation in the digital sphere. High social media activity in Indonesia, with 229.43 million interest users in 2025 and 143 million active social media users, often leads to criminal cases, particularly under Article 27 on public criticism. Cases such as Laras Faziati and Daniel Fritankilissan exemplify how the ETA law is used to justify this and activism. Despite analysis suggestion their expression were legitimate and protected from of criticism, solidarity, or dissent and did not meet the criteria for incitement or hate speech. Therefore, while the digital era offers unprecedented opportunity for discourse, the current legal framework, especially the ETA law, must be re-evaluated to prevent the criminalization of legitimate criticism and ensure the continued openness of the civic space. That's all the presentation we can deliver. That's all, and